चांद तारे तोड़ लाऊं, सारी दुनिया पर मैं छाऊं, बस इतना सा ख्वाब है, बस इतना सा ख्वाब है. Hey, is this a poetry class? Well, it's not. But these lines are quite relatable to what we are going to discuss in today's session. Hi, my name is Nandita Maurya, Assistant Professor in the Department of Training and Development, Access Colleges. I take care of Verbal Ability and Study Abroad program. Well, I have more than 10 years of experience in diverse domains such as BPO, schools, colleges, and immigration industry. And with lots and lots of experience, I can say one thing that this era is the era of startups. These are some of the well-known startups, and we have all seen their CEOs, their founders in a very famous show called Shark Tank India. And these founders have become celebrity in no time. Have you ever wondered that what is that one thing which is common in all these founders? Have you ever thought that what is one thing that is separating these founders from the rest of the crowd? Let me give you an answer for this. This, yes, degree from overseas. These founders have at least one degree from overseas, and this makes them different from the crowd. Now, I'll be telling you what are some of the perks or advantages of getting an overseas education. All right, to start off with, high package. Yes. Whenever we take admission in any college, let's say we take admission in engineering college, the first thing that we are going to ask to the counselor is that what is the average package that a student gets here. Let me tell you, student in India gets an average package of around 3 to 4 lakhs per annum. But when one gets an overseas education, the average package that the student gets is around $68,000, $68,000, which is approximately 41 lakhs. Now let me make the calculation simple for you. This is 10 times to what you get in India. Don't you think that it's quite high? It is. So definitely you can get a high package if you go for an overseas education. Secondly, quality of life. So students population in India is quite huge, you all know. Population in abroad is less, so you have more access to the resources. So definitely quality of life is far better. Thirdly, return on investment. Now this very question is a very common question which is there in everybody's mind, that what about return on investment. On an average one spends around 25 to 40 lakhs if one wants to get a degree from overseas. Now let me make things simple for you and let me show you the track, like how it all works. You have to invest 25 to 40 lakhs, which is but obvious. Now, how we get return on investment? Let me tell you, if you go for an education from abroad, their education policy is a little bit different from India. So if you start with a regular course, their government gives you authority to work on hourly basis. So you can, of course, take out your expenses. This will make you more responsible and you will know what is the value of money, and whatever you have invested you can just get that money back in your first year of placement. So do not worry that if I'm spending this much of amount, is that going to, you know, if I have invested this much of amount, am I going to get it back? You will surely going to get all the amount back, plus you are going to earn more. Lastly, quality education. Yes, students, I'm not saying that in India we do not get quality education, but talking about the practical implementation of things, in India, very few institutes give you practical implementation. Maybe IITs and IIMs, they work on practical implementation. But rest of the institutes, we still follow theoretical pattern. We still go on theoretical education, which is obviously not there in overseas. You get practical implementation of each and everything, so you know how to apply it better and how it is going to work for your higher life. Okay, I have told you the perks. I have told you what you are going to get. Now, one thing that is obviously there in your mind. I know everything. I know in order to have good life, I need to get this, I need to get that. But what is that first move? How am I going to go forward? What is the way? What is the track? So I'll be telling you what is the first move, what are those exams that you actually need to give in order to follow this path. So students, there are certain exams which you are supposed to qualify if you want to pursue a degree from overseas. So let me start. I'm going to explain each and everything. So listen very carefully, okay? Now, if you are an engineering graduate or if you are a science student and you wish to pursue education from abroad, then you are supposed to write this exam, that is GRE, which stands for Graduate Record Examination. You are supposed to give this particular exam and then you can go and study abroad. Similarly, if you are a management student and you wish to pursue MBA from abroad, then GMAT is the exam that you are supposed to give. Now you can see TOEFL, PTE, IELTS. These are three language proficiency tests. TOEFL is mainly used in US, United States. PTE is used in Australia, and I'll just move the slide back. And IELTS is used in almost, I would say, more than 140 countries. So I'll be telling you what these exams are and what you are supposed to do in order to qualify these exams. All right, let's talk about IELTS. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. So this is the first step. This is the first exam that you're supposed to give if you want to pursue your education abroad, irrespective of whatever major you are going for. This exam consists of 4 modules. So your English language proficiency would be judged on the basis of 4 modules. That is listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You get a score out of 9. 9 is the highest band that you get. They are going to calculate an aggregate of all the 4 modules and then they are going to give you a final score. Talking about the validity of the score that you get is valid for 2 years. So let's say that you have given your IELTS exam in 2023. So till 2025, you can use that scorecard anywhere with any institute or any organization. This exam is conducted in 2 modes. One is pen and paper mode, which we call as offline mode, and another is computer delivered mode, which is online mode. Whichever mode you are feasible, you are comfortable with, you can take the exam, get the score. So that would be your first move. Talking about like what are the countries, which are the countries where these exams are acceptable. So Canada, US, UK, New Zealand, and Australia. IELTS is actually acceptable in 140 countries throughout the world. But these are the major countries which accept the IELTS score because this gives them a proof that yes, the candidate who is coming to their country is proficient in the native language of their nation. Right? Okay. I have told you the perks. I have told you the exams that you are supposed to give in order to go to that line. Now, you might be wondering that what is there for us here in Access. So, to meet all your requirements, whatever we have seen so far, we have designed a tailor-made course for you named as LSRW. Here L stands for listening. So the module that we have designed for you is going to cover all the things that you are going to face in these examinations to study abroad. Starting with listening. So here in the module that we have designed for you, we are actually going to help you as in how to identify the tone, emotion and outlook of a speaker. As in whatever a person is saying, what is the motive behind that? We will teach you how to interpret the things. So listening is one of the very basic thing that you should know if you are learning an English language. So we are going to give you certain classes over here through which you will be able to understand different kinds of accents, and it will become easy for you to understand whatever a native speaker is saying or whatever somebody in your own country is saying in English. So next we have is reading. So students, Since childhood you might be always listening that elders, your teachers used to tell you that read, because reading is something which is going to make you smarter and wiser. So yes, we have introduced reading module for you, wherein we are going to give you techniques as in how to interpret academic English. We will tell you through different techniques like skimming, scanning, churning, that how do we read something, how do we understand it, and how do we retain it for a longer time. So everything would be covered here. Moving further, we have writing. Now students, if I have to divide these four pillars of English, listening, reading, writing and speaking, I would say that writing module is the toughest one. Why? Because when you write something, your grammar also comes into action. So we have made it simple for you. Three things that are majorly asked in today's world, whether you are a student or you are a professional: how to write an email, how to draft a letter, how to write a report or essay. So we would be giving you certain techniques over here. We have designed a technique called power writing, through which writing mails, writing essay, writing report will become quite easy for you. Last but not the least, yes, speaking. Many of the students are still afraid of speaking. They have a demophobia. They become nervous. They start shivering when they are asked to stand and speak in front of public. So, to avoid all these things, to help you, to aid you in all of these situations, we have designed speaking module for you. And here our focus would be to make you ready, to make you speak on everyday topics. So it's not that you should only be able to speak on technical topics, but we are actually going to make you ready that you are able to speak on everyday English topics. And this would be done through activities, through fun games, because I personally believe that learning is something which is which has to be done in a very fun learning approach, and only then one can understand. And talking about myself, my team, we highly believe that whatever is taught, it should be taught with the help of games. So we have designed some really good games through which you can speak, you can you can become a very good speaker, you can develop your personality overall. All right, so what is there for us? So these are the modules that we have designed for you. Now, obviously, one question might be budding in your mind, that what if we have no plans of going abroad? What if I do not want to go abroad? I just want to stay in India. So will this training be beneficial for me? The answer for the question is yes. In case you have no plans for going abroad, in case you have to stay here in India with your parents, with your family, but still this training program will be beneficial for you. Let's see how. Number one, since you have attended all the four pillars of English language, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking, so obviously you are going to have an edge over the others, because now you are going to become a master of all these four modules. So definitely don't think that it will be a wastage of time. It will never be. Second, placement drives will be a cakewalk. Definitely, you are attending a professional course, and the motto with which you are attending a professional course is to grab a good job. So while you are attending this session of listening, training, reading, writing, so placement drives will become a cakewalk. How? First of all, the first section that you get in placement drive is you have to clear a verbal aptitude test. So you have already attended the training wherein you have learned how to write something, wherein you have learned the basic grammar. So placement drives will become a cakewalk. Interview will be like just an informal communication. So placement drives are going to get easy for you. So just take a chill pill. Next, easily crack IELTS, GMAT and GRE. So obviously, if you have plans to go abroad, we have covered all the four modules which are basically asked in any of the exams that you have to give in order to study abroad. So you can relax if you have attended this training program. All right, last. Suppose you do not go abroad, you do not go for any private job, but you have in your mind that I have to, grab a government job. So definitely after attending this training program, you can crack easily any government exam, whether it is SSC or it is bank or any other exams you talk about. Because the basic exam that they take is the written, wherein you have to perform well on the aptitude, verbal aptitude part, which we have already covered. Talking about the interview, we have already covered in the speaking. So everything will be there for you, whether you are going abroad or not. Okay, now we have covered everything. I know lots of questions would be there in your mind whether I should attend the training or I should not attend the training. But students, always remember one thing: learning is an endless process. Whatever you learn, it is there with you. Whether you achieve that dream or you do not achieve that dream. What if you are attending any program, if you are attending any session, the knowledge that you have, it is always with you. And I personally believe that training is transformation, and transformation leads to growth. With this, thank you all and see you in the training. Bye bye.